Hello, 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 and welcome to another Daily Code Fun. I am One Lion, and today is Tuesday, the 27th of September. I am starting later than my normal schedule has been because I went back to having Tuesday meetings. Cookies. Cousin Tickles is here. He says he might be streaming soon. I don't think you have to worry about being noob or not. Just do it. That's all it takes. You just get started. If people want to come and watch you, they'll come and watch you. Has nothing to do with whether you're a nub or not. A what? A nub. I'm trying to get the project open. There it is. Are you going to load? For now, we'll just look at these beautiful skies that are, oh man, in Barcelona. Mollet del Valles. I've never heard of it. Load. Okay. I bring it over here and make some faces because I got some meal bar stuck in my teeth. Ice cream meal bar. Oh, it was so good. And there's my desktop. Okay, welcome in everyone. So we've been playing around with this financial management tracker application. We've been doing some test-driven development for the backend services, and we got pretty far. We refactored the test so that we pulled out a lot of the repeatable stuff. Just do it. That I'm pretty sure we're going to need to repeat in other tests. And yeah, we made that better. And in doing so, we also found out that the thing that we used to have in here, which was a transaction detail. So we used to have a list of transaction details related to our transaction. And what we found out is that because I decided to move the amount into the deposit and the transfer related objects for a transaction. So a transaction in our context is any financial transaction that you want to track, whether that's a deposit, a payment, or a transfer, where a deposit is putting money into one of your tracked accounts. Excuse me, a payment is taking money out of your account, one of your tracked accounts, and a transfer is moving money between two of your tracked accounts. So because payment was the only one that was using that I collection of transaction detail, which has line items, so subtotal, sales tax, anything that you would want to track on a payment, I decided that I'm going to take it out and put it directly into payment. Since deposit and transfer both have their amounts that you are depositing or transferring. Yeah, there was just a thought at the very, very end that I had about deposits could have line items in them. They could have an I collection of line item details where you might be tracking the gross, the withdrawals for Medicare, for all of the other withholdings and everything. You're just going to ask about obscure things because you want to talk about them. What is plaid? Are you using Plaid for tracking? I don't know what that is at all. And I'm assuming that's pronounced just like the pattern. Yeah, I don't know what Plaid is. I just don't know what Plaid is. So I think I'm going to go ahead and commit this though. We'll keep the transaction details outside of, and I need to rename the file, outside of the transaction entity, so no relationship. Plaid is a third-party app for logging into a bank account. Oh, no, no, no. This is going to be super simple up front, I guess. So very relevant question, very fair. This is going to be a super simple app that's just you add a couple of accounts and then you enter in some, use data entry to do some, here are things that I paid for recently. Or first, here's my starting balance. And then here are things that I paid for. Here are things that I am transferring from one account to another. Here are things that I'm doing from deposit. But yeah, we could use Plaid if we wanted to, if we wanted to connect it to financial institutions and just have it sync that way. But Mint, Mint exists. There are plenty of actual financial management tracking applications out there. This is for my personal use. And for anyone that just wants to learn along with me. We're really using this project for practicing good programming practices. Things like architecting and DDD and doing the whole design process before actually implementing stuff. So yeah. I'm not doing the best job of keeping on top of the changes for the database in a very design approach. I'm still just kind of like, well, we ran into this thing. It's like a solo developer mindset still. I ran into this situation where my database model doesn't really represent my real world entities. Oops. No, I did not mean to stage. Please tell me that you unstaged. Why would that even have... Why? Why would there even be a thing up there? That was dumb and annoying. How dare. Okay, so probably stage the class name change. Excuse me. Excuse me, do we have anything in staged? Yeah, we do. Unstage, please. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create a migration. I think we updated everywhere that was using that to now use the payment details as opposed to the transaction details directly on payment. It doesn't look like we did. So I'm building it right now, and we could see red, and it's going to tell me there are no... Oh, right, transaction type. Wait, what? So we also added this enum for transaction type, which should be right here. Hello, Bob Rosso. Bob Ross says, I'm an artist. Awesome. An official one now? Because you were an artist before already. Oh, it's because transaction type here. Aha. Transaction type here is naming conflict. So we have two transactions. Oh yeah. Because you created emotes for us. So of course, I gave you the artist badge for our channel. Because I wanted to recognize you for that. Okay, so man. Let's go.
It's over 9,000!
It is over 9,000. What if I deleted this one? You still only have 108K. Only 108K. That's still a lot. I don't know if you have been to Irish John's channel lately, but he made this really, really cool browser game that you can start by using channel points, and then you hop into a browser and then you play the game. It's a arena battleground type of thingy with spaceships. So anyway, he's definitely inspiring, and I would love to be able to make something like that for our channel that is, you know, appropriate to what our channel is, and it would be a co-op type of thing. But it'd be really cool. And then have multiple ways to play, one where you can use chat commands with the delay in the video, and one where you can use the browser, navigate to the page, and then be able to interact with it that way in real live time. That'd be cool. But yeah, very, very inspiring guy. So cool stuff he does. The very yes it is. Okay, so that gets rid of that one there. Where is transaction type? Yeah, I put it down here. And then I put it up here. And oh, actually, easiest way for me to do that, I don't know what I was doing. I'm going to cut that comment, control dot, and move it out to its own class, drag it up here, and say, yes, I would like for you to change the namespace. Thank you. And that should allow us to have our deposit. Did we only try it in one place? Is that what it is? Oh, yeah, it's just right here. Okay. Oy. I'm catching up still, so it was a pretty busy day for me as well. Bob Ross said he's been busy. He's been very busy. What have you been up to? Mine was a few meetings about another concerted effort between the team that I'm working with and the product that we're working on, and another team that works for the same client that is working on a different product for that client, and then they want to merge our two products together. They want to bring in that second product into the product that I'm working on, the UI for, and they just want it all together, consolidated into that one app, so that we take all of the existing code that the other team had put together along with the UI. They're using Angular. So we're thinking about ways that we can turn Angular into web components and then use those web components in our Blazor UI, and then still be able to call their native app, which is most likely going to be run either through command line or maybe just a DLL that gets added to our project. Who knows? But the point is, their product is still going to be a product. They're going to support that product, but we're also going to have their UI in a way that we can use it in our product as well. I don't know the logistics of how all of it works with the two teams, but it seems like it's a thing. It seems like it's a thing, a big thing. So it'll be fun. I have another meeting on Thursday, but it's outside of the screen time, so it's not going to interrupt us, which is cool. But yeah, it was a long day. A very, very long day. Where was I? I was looking for setting up transaction type in all of these, getting rid of these bool values because I want to use transaction type in all of them. And so we lost transaction type here. But now we can get it back from our database models. And that's going to be the same in payment. And, excuse me, transfer. It doesn't matter. So the other thing that we're going to do here is now that we have that one, we can switch on view model dot transaction type. And then all of these if statements here get turned into a case. Let me just do this one separately. Case transaction type dot. Oh, it's just regular model. Transaction type. I said dot deposit. This guy's angry. Regular model. Regular model. Press. And then we get a colon here. We get a break. Oh, give me a break. Okay, now our else ifs can be case transaction type dot get rid of model. The is put a what's it called? A colon. And dang. They look like they're the same. No, they're not. They're not the same length. Break. Translation type. Has anyone ever had a translation before? I sure have. And it worked good. Break. Okay, so now I can get rid of... Oh wait, that's a throw. Get rid of my extra curly braces. And Tommy shows up. Oh, maybe not. Okay, who else do we got? There are no is payments, so instead this is going to be x arrows x dot. This is gonna look so bad. I'm gonna get shot for this. Transaction type switch. Hey, it's doing it for me. So we get a payment and a transfer. Why does this one not use? Oh, right, because deposit doesn't, anyway, deposit doesn't go there. We're just going to do default. Pretty, and then we control dot. So I like how this looks. I like it a lot. I like switch expressions, and the thing that makes it weird is we have a lambda expression, a function, an arrows function, I should say. with a switch expression as the body without curly braces and stuff because it's just returning. Oh, that's scary. Okay, so we get the same thing here. And we will need parentheses. We don't do... Oh, we do. Ew. We got payment details. We sum the amount. And this is our total column. Not amount column, total column. Maybe I should rename that too. Maybe I will. Get sorted transactions. Yeah. I think that'll be fine. That's going to work. Okay. What else do we have that needs to be updated that I broke? Yes, that's fine because you weren't able to build. Don't need to worry about those because that's the Maui project, which is not currently building. So let's try a build. Here we go. Still got some bugs. Bug? A bug? None of those. I could have sworn that we told... what am I looking for? I'm looking for this. That we told the Maui project not to build. We did. So I don't know why I'm getting these errors. But what is the real error? Here, transaction does not contain a definition for is payment. So this gets replaced with our switch. Our what? Our switch. Switch on cur transaction dot transaction type. Are you gonna fill it in for me because I'm too lazy? Whoa. What? I'm gonna grab this and put it into... Yeah, I'll put this into imports.razor. Pretty sure we're gonna use it in more places. More bars. Alphabetical, please. Not that it has to be alphabetical or anything. I just felt like it. Okay. Transfer income expense. Man, that's what I should have called them. Let's put it in the same order though. Payment, transfer, deposit. So I don't hurt my brain trying to keep these in order. But basta. And there's just a default. So get and this should just be total. Wait. Oh, because this is a transaction and not a view model. Oh, that needs to be updated soon. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's update it now. We should be able to. So if I F12 on this, I remember putting this there though. Wait, why didn't cur transaction take me to the code behind? Because it's in a for loop. Okay. Get sorted transactions needs to return a transaction view model, transaction data entry view model. Crap. Crap. Okay, so I'm just gonna do it up here. This is a terrible place to do it. But we're going to use the extension method that we wrote for turning our database entity into a view model, which is not on IEnumerable. So let's make one for IEnumerable. To do that, let's find where it's actually specified. Take me here. Take me here. F12. Take me to the extension method. Take me to your leader. Jerk. Why did it take me there? Service extension, not service extensions. Obviously not service extensions. Transaction data entry view model. Extensions. All right, you need to be in your own file, in our extensions folder, with the right namespace. And so we have our transaction data entry view model, a transaction to view model. And that's what this thing should to have been. So this should be an IEnumerable of transactions. So the thing that I doesn't has is going from a collection of and there you go. Do we want to execute this? I don't know. Okay, it doesn't matter. So we have our items to view model. And once again, I'm going to actually write this as a comment since transactions is not null here. Neither is sorted transactions. Just to keep reminding myself. Every single one of myself. Oof. Excuse me. Wait, why was that erroring on me? I'm not exactly sure why that was erroring on me. Oh, probably, no, no, no. How about question mark? Account name. Crap. I don't think that I have the account name in here inside of the view model. And I can't get to the view model from here. And I don't think that there's an easy way for me to get the account name other than using the lookup list for accounts and then getting back the name, or making sure that I populate account name. I think I'll do that. Let's go ahead and add the account name. And that way, when I am populating, these values, where was that get? Where was that get? It's right here. So this is me mocking it all up. Ah, right, it would be in my extension method. Cool. And all of these will need to now implement account name. You go somewhere around here. Save, copy. Nope, copy. And transfer. Bless you, fun. Bless you very much. And deposit, the purple deposit. Basta. That wasn't even my work phone. And I'm still responding to it. How dare. Okay, hello, Disco. I'm still thinking about the YouTube video that you sent me. It was so good. It was so good. It was so clean. Were you actually on? Because I think you said that it was around that era that you were in the Gardner Cadets? Gardner Cadets? Garfield. Shoot me. Oh my gosh. I knew it was Gar something. Dang it. I'm just not used to that. Hello, Science. Balint. Science Dreams. East Coast 8. Not at all. Not even close. Mm-mm. How are you doing on this fantastic Tuesday? My day has been busy to the brim, and interesting. I'll just go with that. It's been busy and interesting. So many meetings. So many meetings for me too today. And it sounds like I'm going to have a meeting every day now. We're going to have our daily stand-up. Well, they've had their daily stand-up for however long it's been. and now I need to participate in them. So I'm going to be doing that every morning at 9:30 my time. But today was our weekly meeting with the client, and it was in discussion for combining two products. And our client has the team that I'm on working on one product, and then another team from a different company working on another product, and they want to go to the two products. And it was interesting times to hear grown people having a discussion like that. I didn't quite understand, but that's okay. Ain't no thing but tacos. Oh, tacos. Tacos. Okay. That's not today. Today is not Taco Tuesday. How's that? And Avidus is here. Hello, Avidus. Yeah, it's not a bad thing at all. It's just an experience that I've never had because I've always been a solo dev, and the only non-solo things that I've done is have a junior developer working with me. Ooh, I don't even need the enum anymore. I can do payment data entry view model. Payment, yes, but let me control dot already. Are the meetings productive and fast, or do they drag on with everyone repeating the same comments over and over? Today was my first meeting with them, and as it went, they started off with me, and I told them all of the efforts that I did up until this point, which was a quick 2-minute blurb, and then they commented on it, and then they moved on to the next developer, and they went through the developers first, and then they went through the QA team next, and then they went through the well, it's two different QA teams. So one that was doing one type of QA, and then the other one that was working on the other subsystem, or working with the other subsystem. Why is this wrong? Because it's not data entry, it's just entry. Yeah. Yeah, and the one that leads it, the project manager, he's pretty good at being on top of. We're just gonna make sure that we stay on point, stay working with what we need to work with, or keep on topic is what I meant to say. Sorry, I do not mean to trail out, but I'm still replaying some of the meeting though. QA team? Did I hear that correct? QA. QA. Yes, my pronunciation of things is kind of not the greatest. I will work on enunciating better. You're getting too much sun today. But how are you doing, Jim? I hope you're doing well. Kiwi, QA. Okay. I think it should just be a song. All right, back to the extension method so that we can add deposit. I mean payee name. Target account. Target. Wait, not deposit. Transfer. Transfer, and that's why we were down here with the error. My bag. This is payment entry. Well, you're gonna need one too, dang it. um, payment, payee, name. That's gonna be terrible. line items. Oh. Good thing I left myself a note to do this. Jim says, not enough, son. Wait, the way that I said it made it sound like SON. Anyway, you know what I meant. Since Abbott has told Jim that he must have been getting too much sun, Jim is like, not enough sun. Not enough sun. Because that would just be weird for him to say that. Why would you say something like that? Dang it. That means that I need to turn my payments into, my line items into payment details, view models and stuff. So what are you? Line item view model. Too much sun causes the brain to go foggy. Oh, Captain Commerce, you're so kind. Captain Commerce just gifted a sub to Jim. Jim. Thank you so much for that. I caught what he was saying. Too much sun is just like any amount of sun for me is not great. I wilt. Make it rainy. Oh, rainy. Transfer. Dot target account. Dot name. Okay, so we're gonna get a payee in here as well. Actually, it's gonna be called target account. Name. Okay, let's go to this, and then I'll fix the line item thing here shortly. I still need to learn how to word. Does anyone know how to word? And I think I'm going to have Jason ignore with a condition of Jason ignore condition dot ignore when writing null. I guess when writing default, because the empty string should go away too. I do have to put condition equals. Pasta. Save. Okay. Wording is hard. It sure is. Thanks, Jim. Captain Commerce is here. I hope you were able to get at least a little bit of rest last night. If not, I'll send you some of my energy. I don't have much that I am feeling is natural. I am kind of drawing from the invisible reserves that aren't really reserves. They're just invisible sources of energy that are unlimited. But it feels like I need to reach into them to get the energy to keep going at the moment because there was a lot. Oh man. And I'm kind of like caught in the middle. So let me share this because it's kind of weird to me. So I started at Sagetti in May as a senior consultant. And that's like, I don't know, maybe second or third from the bottom of the totem pole. And I get to do a lot of programming, so that's what I really care about. But I was invited to help with an effort, and my opinion ended up being pretty heavily regarded. And I was making a lot of decisions that it didn't feel like I should be making. But it was okay because I took ownership and I took on the leadership mantle for that, for whatever it was that I needed to do, and I'm okay with that. I just wasn't expecting it. But this recent thing that I was talking about at the top of the stream, where we're trying to squish two different projects together, or actually absorb one of the projects. And it's not even absorb because there's still going to be two separate products. This one over here on my, this is your right side of the screen, on my right hand, um, is going to be supported and is being developed by another team, and it's written with Angular as the front end and then some back end processes that we don't really need to know about. We just need to know how to hook into and then get messages back from it and what the shape of the response is going to be and all of that stuff. So there's that team. And then there's the team that I'm working on, which is working on a product. And all that I was supposed to be doing is taking this Figma design, making a Blazor component library, and hook it up into the existing app, or hook up the existing app to that UI. And as I was doing that, I kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I exhibited that I have a little bit more skill than just implementing UI. And so somehow that turned into, you're going to be point on this effort to get the two UIs squished together. And yeah, good times. I just wasn't expecting that. That's all. That's all. Jim. So Stream Elements shouted out Captain Commerce. So definitely check out Captain Commerce when he does stream, when he's just not burnt out, when he gets some rest. But yeah, Jim was like, hey, Stream Elements. So he streams those times, except when he wants to do 24-hour client coding sessions. Spending all weekend doing the thing. Oh, you know what? Since he's doing it, I'm going to do this on stream. This is Irish John's game, which he's doing live currently on his stream. I'm going to die so fast. Whoa. Is someone lagging? How is that happening? Ow. Oh, geez. That was Irish John that just killed me. Yeah, it's so cool. And he has it going on his stream too. So people can see the progress of this battle on his stream. It's so cool. So anyway, shout out for Irish John Games, obviously. This is just really cool. This is so cheap. Someone hacked him. There's no way you're going to be able to hit him. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Oh, this is so good though. So yeah, I was like, this is really, really good inspiration. Oh, he's just laughing. This is really, really good inspiration for me because like I'm not much of competitive type, although I do play to win whenever I do play a game like that. And I hope that I lose on occasion, but I hope I win and I play hard and I hope someone else wins. But anyway, the point is, I prefer co-op. So finding some way to do something like that on our stream that's co-op would be amazing. Would be super fun. That was so cool. Good times. So I forgot what we were doing because now I have PvP hands, which are frozen, and my body is shaking because there was competition, and good times. Okay. We got target account name. Is that what this one is? No, no, it's not. Save. Yay, Captain Commerce. Oh, thank you're so awesome. Gifting subs all over the place. Oh, you're such a good guy. Such a good guy. All right. I've already forgotten what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to update the view model, not the view model, the extension, so that I get all of the information that we need to send back with the view model. And I only had to do it in one place. To entity model. Yeah, this one's going to have to get updated soon too. But the other one that I need is now my line items to be turned into line item view models. So we're going to have a public static class. All right, Jim, thank you so much for being here. Oh, good having you. Enjoy your time with whatever it is that you are doing IRL. Line item view model extensions. And I'm putting it down here because I'm lazy, and then I'll just extract it. Ooh, look at it go. Look at it go. It knew exactly. Well, it knew. It knew. it knew what I wanted in here. Son of a. It had no idea what I wanted to put in here. I think that's all of the no, there's a description property. What else do we have? Payment ID. Do we need the payment ID in this? Wait, why are we sending back a new payment detail? So we're supposed to be sending back. We're supposed to be sending back a line item. Wait, it is payment detail. I forgot that I renamed it. So it is a payment detail. That's correct. Description is not a thing. Detail. Why is that called detail? It should be called description as well. No, detail is right. So the whole point of this detail column, so it's going to be another change that happens in the database as well, is that if I have a line item type that's just a general like tax, then detail could be the specific type of tax or fee or whatever else you want to do. But you could also just add line item types of those specific ones. What else do we have in here? All right, so then we have the line item type itself. And then the payment ID, I don't think I'm carrying with the payment view model. Let me fix this. Wait, that's still right. That's still line item type. It's the other thing that I wanted to change. Yeah, so I'm not keeping track of the object that this thing belongs to, which kind of sucks. Damn. Okay, so we can't assign line item type in our view model, but what we can assign is our value text and our payment detail from the database. The line item type ID from there is not nullable, so we will grab just that to string. I missed other chat though while I was playing the game. Captain Commerce said, my weekend was spent working on the deadline stuff. I need to not do that. And then Jim said to Captain, by the way, Jim FYYC is requesting a quote for 1,000 rubber duckies for debugging sessions. He needs lots. And Captain Commerce just smiled. Smiling. And then Jim said, I need to get more sun, as Evidus has pointed out. I need to get less sun. Pray, please. And then Jim also said earlier, a comment that I missed, when I was your age, ... in quotes, I could pull all-night coding sessions, but only once in a while. You young whippersnapper. Oh, man. Okay, so the amount is going to be amount. You are going to be amount, question mark, 0. Amount is amount. And then detail to detail. And then same thing for here. You're going to be fine. You have an extra curly bracey. And now we can do to view model here. Are you not nullable? Damn. New list of payment detail view model. Or is it that it doesn't like the enum here? To list. Enumerable. I said enum. Guys, I'm gonna get shot. Okay, so because this gives back a nullable list of, it doesn't give back a nullable list of. It will be empty list. Oh, it is going to be nullable list. Why aren't you telling me that the type here is going to be a nullable list? I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for the follow, developer. Forever. I mean, develop forever. Nobody's asking you. You are not allowed to interrupt me. I don't know who's knocking at our door, but I am not answering the door anymore ever again. I don't think so. I'm not expecting anyone. Are you guys expecting anyone? Is that one of you guys? Anyway, how are you doing, Develop Forever? I hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. We are in the middle of refactoring our database. The MP police. Open up. This is Tiger. 2022-09-27. We are in the middle of refactoring our database for this transaction tracker, for this financial management tracker, which is just a project that we've been working on the stream. We're practicing our Blazor skills as well as doing the full stack from design to develop and maybe to deploy. we'll consider that. Find out if maybe I want to try doing deploy to containers or deploy to app function, app service, or whatever we decide is going to be a good place for this. It's just I don't have the money to spend on hosting it anywhere. So whatever it is, it's going to have to be very lightweight and very inexpensive. But yeah, so I think we're done with our extension methods. Are we still broken as far as displaying it in the list? That's where we were. Transaction history. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I approve of Captain Commerce. Cool. And then is this our what column are we in? We are in the middle of September. CH. Oh, I have no idea what order our columns are in. Actually, I do have an idea of what order our columns are in, but dang it. I can again, Senor John. It gives me too much anxiety. I think I have a total property. I should have a total in transaction data entry view model. Ordinary Boy, I saw you earlier. You subscribed to someone that I watched. Where were you at earlier? Who was I watching earlier? Thindle. I'm pretty sure you were over on Thindle's channel earlier. Do you have any suggestions for a .NET e-commerce store? Not Commerce. Then I don't personally. I don't have too much experience with e-commerce. If you want a good course that'll take you through creating an e-commerce app in Blazor, I strongly recommend a Pluralsight course by Patrick God. It's a really, really, really good course, and I like a lot of his approaches. I use a lot of his approaches. There's some that are super weird to me, but that's okay. They're allowed to be weird. Public double amount. So all of these are going to have amount. No, total. Total is what I meant to say. Okay. Here. But yeah, so I don't have very much experience with e-commerce sites in general. But I'm assuming that you're saying not commerce because you know that Captain Commerce is here and he uses not commerce, and you might have seen him use it. And so you're looking for something different than a suggestion that he would have given to you. In which case, I don't have that for you. I'm sorry. Freudian slip. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make total get only, and this is just going to return amount. and we're going to JSON ignore it. Since it's just going to be derived from another property that we're going to have, we don't need to try to serialize it and deserialize it. Same thing with payment, which payment I believe already had total with JSON ignore. And we'll just make it nullable so that we can have it implementing the actual. You know what? Let's not make it nullable. That's a good idea. We'll just do $0. And then we'll go all the way back up to the interface and say, you're not going to be nullable. That's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's okay. And transfer. Transfer? Does anyone know where I put my transfer? You will also have a total arrows amount. Not nullable. JSON ignore. Default is 0. Okay. Do you build now? I'm seeing green. I saw lots of green. Okay, so if you remember, the very first thing that we were doing before we got here was trying to update our database to move that line item, line transaction details directly into payments, and now deposits has its own amount, transfers has its own amount, and payments has a list of line items, or a collection of line items. So do I still have that in my clipboard? Because I don't remember what the comment was that I used. Oh no. How far back do you go? How far back do you go? Oh, I don't think it goes back any further than this. No. Dang. And the thing is that I didn't check in anything, so I wouldn't have that comment. But I had the name of the migration, and naming things is hard. I would rather spend 6 hours looking through my history to see if I can find what I called it before than try to come up with a new name. Add migration. Oh, maybe you haven't heard of Captain Commerce, and maybe he hasn't recommended Nop Commerce to you before. I thought you were just trying to get a different opinion than something that you may have heard before. But Captain Commerce wants to know why not Nop Commerce? Deflux is here. Hello, Deflux. Happy Tuesday to you. Moved trans debt to payment debt. I think this is what I called it. You have a workshop that you're doing. Let me read Deflux's. Well, actually, I'm going to read Tyrant's thing first because it'll be a minute before Deflux gets done. Tyrant says, naming tip. Use lots of words and make it named really big, then try to reduce it. That is a good tip. That is a really good tip. You know, that probably would take less time than what the amount of time that I normally take trying to come up with a good name from scratch. Just call it what it is and then refactor in place. I couldn't hear anything. I was winning the interactive battle royale. What was said about nothing so far. Nothing so far. I thought that Ordinary had already asked you for an opinion, and that's why they specifically said not Nop Commerce, and they were just looking for a separate opinion on an e-commerce framework. A thing that does this stuff. Yep. Okay. I have the migrations project set. I have it as my startup project, so there's got to be something else that is broken. The property or navigation could not be added because a property or navigation with the same name already exists. Time to go back to the context to see which navigation properties I manually specified in. Let's do transaction first. There is none. And yeah, there is no navigation properties set up for payment details, which used to be transaction details. So that's good. So now let's go to our payment table that would have been affected by this. So here's payment, and here's the navigation. Well, here's the navigation property. Here's the foreign key property, and it should pick that up. And then it's telling me that there is already a navigation property No, there isn't. There isn't already a navigation property on payment to payment details. Why are you lying to me? Payment ID to single payment. And collection of payment details. That's a lie. So you know what? Here's one of the joys of having a development database and not having anything deployed anywhere yet. I can just delete all of my migrations. Ooh. Especially since I haven't made any modifications to the migrations. And then go over to the database, the daddy base, which, by the way, if you guys are SQL developers and you have not been using SQL Server, the actual SQL Server Developer Edition, you really, really should. I strongly recommend it. Install the Developer Edition on whatever machine you want to be your dev machine. It's great. It has all of the features of full SQL Server. You're just not supposed to use it in production. Simple, right? Okay, so I think Deflux finished typing out what he was doing. And he says, I have a workshop that I'm doing at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and I'm about 20% done putting it together. Oh, man. I spent most of the day flying to the location. And then his laptop crashed. Oh, no. He greeted Captain Commerce. And he said, I'm doing my workshop on Zero to the Cloud. So GitHub, Azure Functions, Cosmos DB, static web app in 2 hours. Oh man. I hope it doesn't stress you out too much and that you're able to get it done on time. Hi Goku Jax. Konnichiwa. Who else said a thing? Captain Commerce said Developer Edition is sweet. They used to charge for it, but somewhere along the lines, it became free. Avidus says, wait, I missed that. Which full DB can be used for testing? SQL Server Developer Edition, says Captain Commerce. I'm distracted trying to figure out AWS, RDS, and EC2 server stuff. Completely okay. You are allowed to be distracted. And Thindle's here too. Thindle is here too, and he says, I finally understood what was going on. Yeah, I saw when you understood it, but you were on mute after I started the meeting, and then you rated someone, and Oh, that meeting was something else. It was a thing. So I don't even have to worry about what to call this thing because now it's my first migration. And live coding. Holy cow, the entire family is here. It's like a whole family. Update database. Seed my data. Seed my data. Oh, that was the seeds. There it goes. Okay, so Goku Jax came in and just said hi to everyone. Very, very kind of you. Thindle was like, thanks for all the help earlier. So Thindle was working on, and this is a good point to make. So if anyone is just needing this random bit of information, the situation that Thindle ran into was he had an isolated CSS file that was on main layout. And what he was trying to do, well, this is one of the things that he was trying to do with this, was to affect, oh, dang it. I pushed the wrong button combination. That's okay. That's okay. You don't need to run. Let's go back over here. CD, nope, into, go. I'm using a preview version of .NET. Am I really? So I updated the Visual Studio had an update today, and so I updated it, and I think it installed .NET 7 Preview. And it's like, I didn't update Preview, I updated Community. But anyway, so here's the deal. Thindle wanted to update body, the style on body. So background, color, pink. And he was trying to do it from, so he has two different layouts depending on how the user is logged in. And so he wanted the main layout to be one background color and then the admin layout to be a different background color so that he could tell which one is currently active, or whatever reason it was. He just wanted them to be two different backgrounds. And so he's like, so I just write a CSS rule that says target body, change the background color. And he's like, well, I'm looking inside of here and I'm seeing body. And then he realized that this body isn't the body HTML tag. And also that the styles in an isolated CSS file trickle down to from that component to child elements. And notice I said elements because the only way that you can target child components is to also use deep. So that can be a completely different discussion some other day. But my recommendation for that, and I don't know what approach he took, he probably just moved it out, would be to give body, and he's got this really cool approach that I'm kind of wanting to understand better. But he is doing a Blazor server app that is serving the pre-rendered main page or whatever page it happens to be, and then that switches over to Blazor WebAssembly, which is really cool. But where is the app? Where's the app? That's API. That's server only. Where's Blazor Wasm? Okay, so my recommendation was either create a class and put it on body or just put a style on body. Background, or not even that. Yeah, I would create a class for this. But body BG color, and we'll call it pink. And then we'll say background color is var body background color. And so you can see pink poking through back here. And now if I'm in main layout, main layout, main, I'm so lost. Where are my component libraries? Here. Then I could have a rule. So I didn't really think about this though. Where exactly would we put that rule? Because you can't just reassign a CSS variable out here in the middle of nowhere. We need to have this inside of a rule. Huh. So I don't really know how to affect the background color from here. Oh, right. So this is why I would make a class. Okay, so let's turn this into a class real quick. And this is going to be class equals body BG. And so I would put this inside of my CSS, but I can't be bothered to find it. I don't know where it is. So I'll just put it up here. And I did that with C# curly braces. I'm falling so behind on chat now. Okay, so now my body has still the same pink background color, but in here, I'm now going to have a rule for body BG, where I am going to reassign body BG color to blue. And voila. Hello. Oh, that was supposed to work. That was supposed to work. I'm not doing CSS variables correctly. That really was supposed to work though. I wonder if it's not working because this isn't a style tag. And the place that the CSS variable is being declared. So I declare all of my CSS variables in another Sass file called root, and then that gets put up at the very, very top. Why is it so hard to find my component library? There you are. So if I do root here, this is where I put you. And then I say body background color, which is going to be in my global styles. Body, I'm just going to override background color here. Okay. Oops. Yeah, so that still doesn't affect it. Whoa. Good thing the lid was closed. I really don't understand why it's not. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. So I can't affect the background color from inside of, or a CSS variable from inside of here. That is on an element that is higher than this element. So this element lives directly inside of body, and I can't affect the parent element. That's really interesting. And I can't even reassign the CSS variable inside of a real rule. So this is supposed to override the root variable, but it looks like it only does it from this point on, which is why you still can't affect body. Okay, so that said, I really don't know what your solution was. I hope it was a good one. Yeah. Yeah. So the lesson there is wherever you are in an isolated CSS file, you cannot affect any elements that are above the level of the element that you're looking at. And by above, I mean, if you look at your element DOM Explorer and you find the component that gets rendered, anything that is wrapping that component is above that component. So your solution was a div as the top level element in the file, then 100VH, 100VW, and then set the background color on that instead of the body. I mean, I kind of don't like that. Because this to me sounds like theming. Yeah, it's a little hacky. All right, Abydus, enjoy the sun with Jim. So my approach is to have a CSS class for each of my themes. And so here's an example. My standard theme is what is in root right now. Root, get rid of that. So here is my standard theme. My next theme would be light theme, where I would override, let's just do primary text color and primary background color, because I don't want this to hurt. And I would swap them. And when I am in a specific, yeah, the recommended is JavaScript, and that is what I use. When I switch to a different component, so let's say that main layout, when main layout loads, I would use my JavaScript interop to check to see, is there a class theme, whatever I just called that one, light theme? If not, add light theme to body. Find and add light theme to body. And then if I'm in the other one, find and add whatever color theme that one is. So that's how all of my theming works. And actually, I do have a living example of that. Well, the other option is to do just that, is change out what's in head for your linked style sheet, but that's still via JavaScript. Yeah, so I moved all of my projects out to a different drive because I was running out of space. I don't know if I'm going to be able to open them. Let's see if I can find it. Open? Because this is really worth going over. / procrastinating, writing more tests. RMake it. I don't care. Let's go with that. User management. Nope. Vegemon. That's not going to work either because that's not mine. Neither of those is going to work. F drive. Source. RMake it. There we go. RMA chain of custody would probably be the easiest one to show this with. Ow. Okay, so my UI project is called Pages in my old jobs projects. You can see that I still follow this same pattern of making a root that has all of my CSS variables that are used throughout the application, which it's called from new project instead of global. So I use the CSS variables when doing all of my styling so that I can get the right colors, the right font size. That way, when I do something like change the theme, and wrong main. That's not the main I was looking for. Where is Blazor Wasm? I'm looking for client. These projects are so foreign to me now that I've used a completely different approach for architecting them. Where is it? Is it in main layout? Hello, MMD coder. Nice, I like it. That's login. Nice try. Happy Tuesday to Tuesday. I am streaming later than I normally do. What? Why didn't I just collapse this one? Okay, it's in UI state, obviously. Duh. So in my UI state, I have something that is used in a, it's got to be in main layout though. Nope, it's in nav menu. In my slider here, so I toggle dark mode on and off. And when I do that, I say UI state set dark mode to whatever I was turning it on or off to, which does set local storage to the most recent toggled state of dark mode, and then set the CSS, which uses JavaScript interop to either add the dark theme class to body or remove the dark theme class to body. So yeah, JavaScript interop is how I do it. Well, it's more than just works. To me, this is a really good approach as far as managing theming. There is one other approach that I saw that I also somewhat like, and it's what Blazor uses, which is a theming component where you put all of your CSS variables inside of that component. You put that component in whatever page, and it adds the style at the top. And yeah, it's kind of weird to me, but it also works. It's just the needing to use JavaScript in something that's meant to replace JavaScript. It's not meant to replace JavaScript. I think that's a misconception. Yeah. It's supposed to allow .NET developers to use their C# and HTML and CSS skills and not have to do JavaScript much. But yeah. So MMD Coder was asking, where are you from, bro? I am currently living in Denver, Colorado, but I'm from all over. I was a military brat, but lived in the Midwest for the majority of my life after my dad retired from the Army. And so the project that we're working on is this financial management tracker, which we're using to get better skills for design, for using best practices while developing. I'm doing all of our back-end processes using TDD. And yeah, we'll find out if we're going to do deployment so I can practice deploying to like Azure and stuff like that or not. And we're all just having discussions about it and seeing whatever comes up. Like right now, the thing that's coming up is affecting the overall theme of the application without the need of JavaScript. And you know what? I do think that I came up with a theme switcher component, but that's in my work product. So yeah. But yeah, so this application, sorry, is the intent of the application itself is a financial management tracking system where you can input what accounts you have that you want to track, and then you do data entry yourself. It doesn't like connect to your bank or your financial institution or anything, but you enter payments made from whatever account it is, deposits to that account, and transfers between accounts that you own. And so we sketched out some of the UI design for it. We implemented that UI design. It's not fantastic or anything like that at the moment because I want to go through and actually design this thing. But I wanted to get to this test-driven development portion. We just refactored the database a little bit, and I need to do a check-in soon. And now that I know that it works still, that was cool. That's a good test. So what we did? We we started our migrations from scratch. Who are we? Who are we? Is there a repo somewhere? Of course there's a repo. I just did the Bing project. I'm not really wanting to do too much as far as repo maintenance. Uh, I kind of just want to get through the first draft of it, but as I've been working through it, I've been asking you guys questions, getting direction. I got a lot of help from Tyron, from the Real MKB, from live coding. What's in the Dukasoft content wrapper? Everything. This is the main layout. And it just so happened that I was trying to come up with a class name for it, and Dukasoft was like, Dukasoft is the class. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Dukasoft content wrapper. I kind of saw what you did with it, but I wasn't fully paying attention because, again, I had the meetings that I was preparing for, and yeah, I am interested in it though. Why are you so wide suddenly? Okay, I moved the transaction details out of transaction and renamed to payment details in payment. Refactored the view models to use this new structure. Local commit. And then I'm going to squash all of my commits and then push them at the end of today. Am I doing height and width 100 VH, 100 VW? I don't know. I haven't touched the CSS for this in a while. Wait, that would be in here. Yes, I am. So this is the main content. And what I like to do is so that the top bar does not affect. No, that's not how I'm doing it. The top bar is inside of this wrapper too. I like to use grid. Ooh, Thindle has the code for the cancelable component. So what exactly is a cancelable component for? It just provides a cancellation token source for you. And then you can use that cancellation token source in whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, definitely. I understand that. That makes sense. I could see that. Yeah. So for example, my transaction history page or component. Yeah, and you can inherit it in all components. Absolutely. Um, in my transaction history component, I'm only going to allow, so many items per page, so it's not going to tax it too much. But what if you are navigating across multiple pages super fast and it doesn't give, I don't know. I don't really see see the need for it in this app because this is kind of like always showing. So it would have to be something else. Yeah, I don't have a massive need for that in this app, but I definitely see the usability and the RMA Water app. Here's a good one. Let's go with test. Speaking of, I really need to help them with this. Oh my gosh. I've been so busy. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not discrediting it. I like the approach and I like having the cancellation token source available. The only place that I really use cancellation token sources are when I am doing lookup list retrieving. So I need to get all of my lookup lists and I navigate away and it's like I actually don't need to finish getting my lookup list values because they're no longer on the page that needs it. So this thing, for example, if I'm getting stuff and I allowed the user to navigate away from this page while it's getting this data here, and then they move to a different tab or a different page, then it would cancel that action. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I saw Thindle's name. So yeah, we finished with the updates. And now we have a working test, by the way. I don't know if you were here when we finally finished the test. Who is we? I'm so lost in this project now. I've been staring at my work product for a long time now, over the past 2 days. It's like, this is completely foreign to me. Oh, look, a cancellation token source. But that's in my test. Next thing, this is the pre-render guide that I'm following, or that I followed. You need some more magic to share state so you don't re-render everything when WASM takes over. Yeah, I'm really, really, really curious how that's going to work. Because what I'm doing for this app is I have a static copy of the landing page. So when the app is starting, like while you see the login not loaded, that's just static HTML. And then the Blazor component gets put into app, or the Blazor application gets put into the app div. And you can also see that happening here. Except that I'm too slow. So that sounds really cool. I want to try it out. I would love to try it out with this app. Pre-rendering and such is now a part of the ecosystem. Absolutely agree with you, prog testing. Yeah, this is both. So when you said this is both for yours, I was thinking, hey, I do both. I don't do both the way that you do. You do both at the same time. I've prepared this project so that you could run it as either WASM or server. So because I have the server version, I could just adapt it to use that approach. But that also means that I need to move all of my controllers, controllers into my server app. It's just to me, there's so much danger in losing that WebSocket connection to Blazor server. Does that issue not play a part when it finally switches over to Blazor WASM? Yeah, API controllers. So on like this app, my app, I have an API, a hosted API backend, and that has API controllers, controller endpoints, I should say. So these controllers would need to go inside of my server only project, and that would be both my initial pre-render Blazor server serving this up and my API controller backend when it switches over to WASM. If I'm planning on hosting this on IIS, pretty much. Cool. Well, I'll definitely see about adapting for that because that sounds really cool. If if I can understand that and I can tell Andrew, then apps like this, test dash water, wouldn't take this long to go through this load process just to show the authorizing screen. Like the only thing that it does is it takes you to authorizing. It doesn't even try to load any of the rest of the app until authorizing is done. So the majority of that load time is getting the resources from the server for the main authorizing page. Yeah, I'm not worried about SEO for these apps. The one that I am thinking about the most, no, not even that. Nope. So I'm mostly doing Maui apps lately. So they're all running locally on the machine. So I don't have that issue, which is really nice. But it's good to know that SEO will work for it. And you can register different services, so you have one DI container for each. Yeah, so that is still kind of how I'm set up. I have a DI container for the Blazor server version, and this is the Blazor server. A DI container for the Blazor server version, a DI container for the API, and a DI container for the client, WASM client. And prog testing was saying you can serve static sites with Blazor server. That way you have the SEO problem circumvented. Yeah, that's really cool. Really, really, really cool. I also set up a shared extension to inject, well, stuff that can be shared. That would be how I'm set up as well. So my shared library, I have a shared component library that has its own state classes. So I haven't been using Redux or anything. I use just a regular class. Well, I guess this is my concrete class. I have a class that keeps track of some properties. It maybe has a couple of methods for manipulating those properties and maybe hydrating them. So it's almost like a view model for my state. And I have extensions in my component library that say add state management. So I can do builder.service, that's the API. In Blazor server, I can do builder.services.add state management. And in the client, it's the exact same call, builder.services.add state management. Same thing with localization. But then if I have client services that apply to only the client side, then I have that in its own extension that affects only the client. And then on server, then that one gets all of the server side services. Called add server services. And so this is the thing that actually has here's the interface, here's the concrete class, but this concrete class is the one that does the database connections. It does the getting stuff from the database, pushing stuff to the database, getting stuff from disk, etc., etc. Things that only should happen on the server. And that's exactly what you are going to be doing. Yeah. It's really cool. And as it turns out, Patrick God also uses this approach, which was so cool. I loved it. And I don't remember where I picked it up. It was probably a Nick Chapsis video that got me addicted to doing service extensions. And it's an addiction, let me tell you. So let's go back to the test real quick and make sure that I did not break the tests with the database change. We're at this test right here. And Vendel says, now here's the funny. I think I'm going to be setting up Azure functions for the API endpoints, and those will use the exact same injected services on the server side. And the client will be HTTP calls. Yep. So I didn't show the client, it passed. I didn't show the client side implementation of the services, but you can definitely see that in add client services. And I haven't implemented them yet because I'm trying to do TDD. But the client side is do a HTTP request and then send back the response to the caller. Good times, good times. So yeah, exactly the same interface, but two different implementations, one for the client side, one for the server side. I like when my ideas are validated by someone who's done it before. Yeah, so I started doing this as soon as I understood how Blazor worked with dependency injection, Blazor WebAssembly with a hosted API. So that would have been .NET 3.0. is it 2018, 2019? And I've been doing it ever since, and I love it. And there have been people that have been doing it ever since .NET Core 2, or since dependency injection was a thing. It's like, man, I wish I had known about this a lot earlier, though, because it's so nice. It's so easy. Even a caveman is doing it. Look at me go. Okay. So the test still passed. I need to write the remaining tests, but I want to try it out. I'm pretty sure that I rigged up the data entry page. Again, I have way too many folders open that I can't find my component library. Here is my component library. Here is my deposit entry page. I have an edit form surrounding it, handle deposit submitted, on valid submit. And here is where it's calling that interface method. So if I had this component library hooked directly up to the Blazor server application, this add transaction data would directly call the server side implementation. When I'm running it in Blazor WebAssembly, then it calls the client side implementation because that's what gets dependency injected here. And so that means that I should be able to test this out. First thing that I do is I test out submitting. I can't submit. I thought that I had the data validation on this component too. Data annotations validator, P. What is the name of the component? It's called the validation message 4. Yeah, I can't believe I remembered. Actually, I can, but that's okay. I can act like I can't believe I remembered. And so you can see that I'm putting it inside of a p tag so that it maintains the same amount of space even when a message shows up. I'm sure one thing that we want to do for it is to have class text danger, which I don't think that I even have text danger specified because I'm not using any external CSS library at the moment. So, okay, if I try to submit, you aren't actually trying to submit, are you? You're supposed to be validating the model. Oh, I know. I need to rebuild. Why did you say no to you don't want this to rebuild? You kind of do. .NET Core 2 was even before I even knew Blazor existed because Blazor didn't really exist. It didn't exist until 2.1, and even then it was super late during the 2.1 era, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong. I could be lying to you. I'm allowed to lie to you. Yeah, so there we go. We now have our model validation messages. They need to be, of course, oops. They need to be cleaned up. I need to give it a better message. They need to be smaller. They need to have text danger on them. The second one was for target account value. So it was proof that model validation does work when I try to submit without a valid model. And so if I now specify values, I will make a lot. And then I submit that, we're going to watch my HTTP request happen. And we're going to get back a 200 OK because it's going to work perfectly. So here is what I sent to the server. Copy object. JSON grid. And let's just do an array of objects so we can see both the request. Actually, let's do a new object that is request, comma, response. Let's just make it null for now so that I don't forget. Validate. So there's the request. Now let's go get the response, which should just be, oh no, the record ID is, no, it failed. So the cool thing is that all of my error handling worked. However, there was a failure. And that failure was an unexpected error occurred while saving the deposit. And that unexpected error was the insert statement conflicted with foreign key constraints, account ID, column ID. So it's telling me that the ID that I was specifying in the request, which is 1, does not exist in the database. But that's a lie. Why you gotta lie to me, son? Oh, geez. Okay, let's look at the database, but this is going to be the last thing that we're going to do for today. Time just flies. Counts, view data. So when I scaffold it, it is truth. It is truth. All right, so let's just put that in there. Do I have an account ID of 1 at least? Account type ID. So I seeded my account types, but I never seeded the accounts. Ops. All right, try this again. Submit. Is it the same error? Ah, deposit reason doesn't exist. Oh, this is why I didn't want to try it yet, because I didn't seed any of this data. So we'll do regular page check 1. Do I actually have to put a value, or will you default a value for me? False. Nope, I have to put a value. 2022 0901. Sure, why not? No, why are you now ID 2? Damn it. Bastard. That's okay. That's okay. We should have 2 things in here. State income tax return. We'll call this thing state income tax return. The government gave me a lot of money back. And there we go. It was successful. It did not error on us this time. We got a record ID of 3. So if we go into our transaction table, we will see a new record with ID 3 for account ID 1 with the transaction date. It's still pending because it hasn't posted. That's how I know it's still pending. And if we look at our deposits table, we should have a related record for transaction ID 3, deposit reason 2, and for this amount. Yes! So our entire add deposit worked the way that it was supposed to. I believe I also left everything else empty. In transaction data entry service, shared server. Is it not open? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Yes, I did. So I could also do a payment and a transfer. So says I. Except that we don't have any payees in there. So let's add a quick payee. Why isn't he stopping? I need to go cook. Vindies. Okay, so we have a payee, we have a line item, we have a account. Go. So no errors back, although it didn't submit because I didn't hook up the button, the form, to do the actual call. Dang it. Duh. So we will not do this tomorrow. We will work on some more tests. We'll write the rest of the test for getting all of our transaction info, all of our deposit info. We will work on writing test for deleting or marking as deleted. So soft deletes. And yeah, updating an existing record, which most likely will be for doing stuff like updating the posted date for pending transactions and stuff. Always soft delete. Always. Except when you don't. But yeah, I am in the habit of soft deleting as well in most cases. But yeah, so Thindle said I was a bit late on the ball. No, you weren't. You were right on. You're right on time. A wizard is never. Just never. I hope you guys enjoyed your time today. I enjoyed my time with you. Thank you so much for being here. I enjoyed hanging out with each and every one of you. Yeah. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I set up a raid for our good friend. Since we were playing his space shooter, I set up a raid for Irish John Games. We're going to head over there. I will be upstairs cooking, and then if he's still streaming by the time I'm done cooking, then I will head back into his stream, but I'll be lurking there for the rest of the day until he's gone. And also Simple Game Devs stream and Settlix. So many cool people streaming. But that's going to be it for me today. Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming at the same time as I normally do, which is 10:30 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And that's UTC -6. If you need help doing the math, I'm sorry. UTC, it's currently 21:38. But yeah, that's going to be it. I will see you again when I see you again. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And enjoy your time until I see you again. Okay. Have a good night, Thindle. Sleep well. Disco, have a good day. Ciao, Juice, prog testing. Thanks so much for being here. Such a cool guy. Good friends, good friends. Abatus, live coding, Deflex. I hope you get your stuff done, Deflex. Okay, bye.